So let's get going. All right, and one thing I want to do is this head end joint is part of my skinning, and it's impacting some of my weights, and it really doesn't need to. It's not supposed to be in here. It's supposed to have 0 weighting. Now, to avoid it getting any weights after I take assignment away from anyone else, I'm going to take this away from the skinning. So I'm going to select this head joint, select my entire body, and go into my weight paint tool. Let me minimize my ears. It's this head end joint. Yeah, it should not have this or weighting anywhere else. It has some stuff down here when I was checking last. So I'm going to go skin, edit skin influences, and then do remove influence. Let me try that again. Grab this. I'm not supposed to be in the weight tool when I do this. I'm just going to go remove influence. So now if I go into the weight tool, yes, I should be fine. Yeah, it's no longer in here. Let me just confirm that none of these have it too. Okay, it doesn't seem to be anywhere else. It was only on the head. Now the next thing I'm going to deal with is the thing we noticed with the high, mid, low control. And if I select this and go into my weighting, the up, mid, low, somewhere down here, yeah, this has influence over the whole body, and this is just not acceptable. So I am going to find a very simple way of just losing all of it. What I'm actually going to do is just select an edge loop here and just grow my selection just so I can get to the bottom side of the neck where I don't want it impacting at all. At around there, that's about where I might want to stop. And then for the rest of it, I'll just select it. I'll hold down Shift and Control and select so that I have all these points. And now if I go into my weight tool, yeah, all this influence that it has in the lower face, I could just go replace and flood with a value of 0. All right. So now my low control should have no influence on the face. Sorry, no influence on the body like it had before. So it just should impact the bottom of the face. It looks like the other ones also have influence. Well, actually they don't. I think what just happened is when I took it away from this one, it probably went and assigned it to the other two. So I have to go back into component mode. And I still have my selection. So that's a good thing that Maya does. It stores your selection. And I can go in here and make sure that none of these guys have influence either. So that's flooded with 0, and flood that one too with 0. Okay, it seems to be dancing around. What I should actually be doing if I don't want it to impact any of the controls is to give it to this root joint. That's what I'm going to start calling this root joint that the multi-cluster assigns everything else that it doesn't want the main controls to influence. I used to call it a dynamic joint, but I'm just going to call it the root joint. And so I'm going to take this multi-skin cluster root joint and make it have 100% influence on this selected area. So I'm going to go flood. And I think that should take it away from everyone else. Yes, everyone else doesn't have it. Okay, so now we should be fine if I go here and select any one of these 3 controls and move them. Yeah, it should not move the torso. Yeah, and we've lost influence of them on the torso. and just affecting the face. All right, I turned on my texture because even though it's misbehaving and showing only patches, I'd rather have it on. And the next thing I'm going to fix now is the distribution, especially of this weighting for the high, right? What it's doing here, I don't like at all. The first thing I want to make sure of is that the eye always goes with the top control, the high control. And I'm going to paint this eyelid a little bit so that it is the transition point between the high and the mid control. It'll be that and this eyelash. Actually, no, the eyelash will go with the top. The entire eye will go with the top. And then the transitionary point will be actually the eyelid, the flesh. So to do that, let me just drill down here and grab all my eye geometries. All right, so now that I've isolated them, I'm going to do this one by one for each piece of geometry because the weight paint tool gets confused when you're trying to use the weight paint tool with several pieces of geometry selected. Go into my weight paint tool, and here it has part of it for the upper face and most of it is going to the middle of the face. So I'm going to come over here and flood this with a value of 1. And go down the chain and do the same thing. Go flood and do the same for my pupil. Put a high, mid, low, upper face, flood. And I think that should be, yeah, that's it. 3 pieces of geometry. So I'll grab that. Okay, so now it should look a little better as far as the eye is concerned. And now I should be able to focus on cleaning up this. I did initially say I was going to make the whole thing move with the top of the eyelid, and I think I should do that. I will do that. Let me just flood this also with 1 and then just do the necessary painting to get all this stuff up there. So if I come over here, take the high, mid, low control, grab there, and I can grab my soft brush and start painting. Let me temporarily hide these joints because they're starting to look really messy, making a mess in the viewport. And also my nose curves temporarily. And I'm going to come over here and carefully do an add with a value of maybe 0.1. Yeah, and just slowly paint this area until it catches up with, at the very least, the eyelash. And now, just to get something a little bit more refined, I'm going to grab a few points here and do a smooth flooding of just this region, the more important region right there. Let me deselect some of these, just so the inside part starts to look a little bit better. And I'll just go into my weight paint tool and just go smooth and just start flooding. Do a little bit more refining by adding the eyelids, sorry, the eyelashes to the selection. Yeah, so that I can have them here and do my refinements, because this could use some refining. Should do 0.05 and just, yeah, slowly add. So this is not perfect, but it's a fairly good result. I just wanted to show you how it's going to make it so that this doesn't look so bad when you're using the up, mid, low controls. Yeah, this is much better. There's a gap in there that I don't like. Let me bring my NURBS curves back. Go to build pose. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I'd rather have this. All right, this is not bad. If it's that important, I think I don't even think it's worth it. I was gonna say a morph target to fix this little gap, but it doesn't matter. If you're doing this, you're less than likely going to be in here looking from the top. You're trying to do some effects with the head like this. So this isn't too bad of a result.